Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Okay, what the heck is happening here? I'm zoomed in kind of close. The magic's broken. I'm sorry. Unprofessional. Hello everyone. How y'all doing today? It's J-Pop. Happy Monday to all, and I am starting a new game that I'm not sure how this will go. We are playing Coffee Noir, a business detective game. I have this on my Steam list. I must have got it either because it was interesting and or cheap. So this is what we're doing today. Meg! Oh no, Meg, what's up? How you doing? Edge with the 31st month subscription. A big old sellout. It is much appreciated to you, Edge. You expect professionalism? I thought really hard about slurping into the mic and I decided against it. How's that for professionalism? How you doing, Edge? Hope all is well. So, what is this game? What are we doing? I kind of don't have a clue. Also, I need to do this, so hold on. I can fix this. There we go. Alright. Not bad. Kind of interested in this game, to be honest. Okay. So, type the profile name. Ooh, anonymous with the 30-month subscription. 30 months, almost too long listening to this nerd. Anonymous, you love me. You can't quit me. Detective J-Pop. You guys ready? Alright. So we have our profile name. Ooh, game difficulty. Start with game with 50 gabookabuks. And maximum debt is limited for 65%. We're in debt? Ooh. Start with 70, 50, 35, 80. We're gonna go medium. Ocarina, Sai, anonymous. Go hard or go home? No! I don't want to just rage. Because, guys, let's be perfectly clear. I am not that smart. I'm smart enough to know I am not that smart. Go hard or go home. Yeah, I went home. That's what I... Thank you, Anonymous. How's everyone's Monday? How's everyone's Monday? Okay, so, settings. I'm going to turn down some of the stuff. Voice volume will go...
2021 is ruled by coffee, and Neo London goes crazy for it.
Okay, that's what we're going with. We are going with English. Comic auto continue. No, it's okay. Motion, animation, 50%. Pixel perfect. Graphics quality. Ultra. Edge with the gift sub to Meg. Edge, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You don't know how much I appreciate that, man. Alexander Kohi. How can we take you seriously when you use K-cups? Look, I lost all my other shit, you know, in the tragedy of 2023. And we have a hype train! You prefer tea? My son likes tea. I'm a Kohi bitch. And I'm not a true coffee drinker, as I always say I have. I don't do sugar anymore, I just do cream. But, I mean, it still makes me a non-coffee, legit coffee connoisseur. So, Alex, Edge with another gift sub to Alexander, level 2! Here we go! We have the hype train going! For Profit Detective Agency. Gamba! Okari Nasai. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, what contract? We have coffee, smokes, the breakfast of champions. Coffee and a cigarette. 2 if you're really hungry. It's kind of hard to taste still, yes. And actually, I used, you know, one of them flavored creamers, so it's probably got sugar in it, so I just don't add more sugar. The conductor's insane? We'll tell you what, Anonymous, if you can remember 2 October. Okay. Let's get started, shall we? And Alexander, I am starting for you East Coasters on time. At the beginning of the 20th century, for unexplained reasons, world's coffee consumption increased 20 times. This phenomenon called coffee mania reached its peak in the 1940s. It caused huge turmoil in the economy.
2021 is ruled by coffee, and Neo London goes crazy for it. They say that in this job only 2 cases matter. The one that breaks you and the one that makes you a real cop.
Oh, I get to click. Imagine the whole world running out of coffee would suck.
I'm Arthur Oliver, and I'm a private investigator. But I used to be a cop here in Neo London.
Neo London back in 2021. You all remember that?
I quit 10 years ago. I failed. I hoped I'd never come back here. I read about Richard Kersey's disappearance in the papers on a train journey. Coffee tycoon vanishes. The front page headline of the Neo London Espresso screamed. For many, Kersey was a wealthy celebrity buffoon, pure envy. They lost contracts and profits to him. They even lost their reputations as he dragged competitors through the courts. And me, I lost a lot more to him. Catherine, my beloved, and his wife.
Oh, scandalous. I am a fan of Noir, has a good place in my heart.
10 years ago, Richard was involved in a spot of bother. He had a debt. Unfortunately for him, it was Kath who received the demands for payment. Kersey happened to be abroad at the time, totally out of reach. She got scared and tried sorting it out herself, in cash. She asked me for help. I couldn't do it in my official capacity, but I took my gun and set up a sting. It ended tragically. A few days ago, Henry called, Richard's old brother. He sounded down, just like me.
Okay, I know all about it, Arthur. Quit the force, you're still tormented by Kath's murder. Listen, Richard's daughter doesn't have to know anything about you two, nor Richard. But I'm begging you, help me find him. I'll give you a flat to live in, some cash, and a cover story that you're a salesman. Just come, please.
So I'm in Neo London again. The business with Catherine broke me. So maybe the case with Richard will be the one to make me a real cop again. Richard's disappearance was big news. There was speculation about mafia involved, either Italian or Yakuza. I think there might be something in that. Little Clarabelle, Richard and Kath's daughter. Last time I saw her was at her mother's funeral. I wanted to comfort her. Now it looks like it's her who wants to comfort me. She's so like her mother, especially her eyes. Can't forget watching the life draining out of Catherine's eyes. On the way to the hotel, Clarabelle told me her father might have been kidnapped by an angry competitor. It's a possibility. Kersey did all sorts of weird deals with even weirder people. Maybe one of them had enough of Richard's caprices. Over the phone, Clarabelle confirmed what Henry had promised. There was a flat and a position as a salesperson in their family business. That was to make investigating easier. Fair enough. Let it be. If that's what the investigation demands, I'll become the best damn salesperson in Neo London. I'll help Clarabelle with her business. I'll find Richard. I'll find your killer, Kath. I won't let you down twice. Promise.
New London itself, there are hundreds of coffee roasting houses. Coffee providers companies specialize in developing new products made from manufactured coffee. I want to make sure that read drink coffee. Where's my mouse? All right, I don't have a mouse here in this spot. Hello everyone, Silver Fox, thank you for gifting the sub to Sia. Thank you. Yeah, if they allow GTA and LA Noir, that's such... I'm not sure if I'm cut out for that game. I'm not sure if I'm cut out for this game. I'm giving a chance. So we shall see how this goes. You don't like the coffee? I mean... I do believe that you're not a real coffee drinker unless you drink it black. But, to each their own, and I use creamer. We'll have to steer you off a cliff. I do like the LA Noir type stuff. I like the ancient calm attitude, the conversing. Oh, I liked Humphrey Bogart at one point, and I know he isn't exactly noir, but, you know, he has a sort of air about him that's the same generation.
Dear Arthur, thank you again for agreeing to work on this case in such unusual circumstances. As I mentioned during our last meeting, Uncle Henry and I suspect that one of my father's business partners must be involved in his disappearance, or at least knows something about it. We believe it would be best to work undercover and meet them offering a delivery contract. It's also better that a private investigation will remain as a secret. Check out the instructions I've left you, and look around in your office. After that, meet me at my cafe. See you soon. Clarabelle Kersey.
Is the voice, or the voice is good? Does it need to be louder? Let me know. And of course, I'm trying to not talk during the cutscenes. The 1940s. I mean, is that the setting of this? I mean, whatever settings it's at, it is. Is the game volume a little low? Turned it up some. Let me know if it needs to be more. Alright, so we gotta sell coffee and find a killer. So Tutorial basics. Welcome to the office. Place command center. Company investigates. Conduct an office view. Jump all to all game sections. Have preview of main events. Cash, costs, revenue. Here you'll find the financial results this week. Hover over a given result. You see the explanation. This information gives you an overview of your business situation. So that's where the 1 is. In this menu, you have access to main sections of the company, the last report, and tutorial. You can always minimize this menu. Quick tutorial, last report, stuff. You can also go to main section of the company, click in the elements if it's more convenient. You can check the list of required tasks on this board during the gameplay. New tasks may appear. Click to view it. First task is to meet Clarabelle and sign a contract. Sign a contract. Find connection between two clues optional. Collect cash of at least 20,000. Reach weekly revenue of 30,000. See ya! Okari nasai. Turn it up all the way. Hustle and sell coffee the American way. Except I think we're in Neo-London. Hopefully you get to shoot someone. That would be nice. Putting the LASIK to the test. I've turned it up a bit more. You know what? Maybe I'll turn this down and I'll change some of the options later as soon as we get to it. Click here to open the sales section. In this section, find information about available customers interested in your company offer. They are suspects in your investigation. In each chapter of the story, you'll find other customers here. Goal is to meet every customer and sign a coffee supply contract. Thanks to this, you will not only get funds to support your business, but also clues to your investigation. Clarabelle Kersey is the first customer interested in our offer. Status, meeting arrangement, coffee brands, classic, standard. Each customer reports a demand for a specific brand of coffee with a certain level of quality. To be able to attend a meeting, you must start producing coffee that the customer wants to buy. Requirements before meeting: coffee in stock, 16 units, and arrange meeting. To meet with the client, additional conditions must be met. Since all conditions are met, the interview with Clarabelle was arranged and serves as an introduction. You can go to this meeting now. There's also this notifications which is blinking, but I can't do anything about it. Ooh, good luck, see ya. I understand, but we all have the life, the adulting to do. It sucks. Plus, if I'm winner of this $1 billion lotto. At this point, I just ask people because the font's too small. She's a student, works in the family cafe coffee with a Mortal Kombat K. She wants to earn money on her own, conduct a business. Clarabelle is modest, sensitive, and heartwarming dreamer. Sometimes she has her heads in the clouds, which is the reason she was laughed at by her peers. Her excessive trust and gullibility is one of her biggest flaws. Her inexhaustible faith in people is a little puzzling since she went through the tragic death of her mother, Catherine Kersey, after her father, Richard Kersey, went missing. She's trying to do everything to find him. Tutorial business meetings. Much of the in-game conversations are business meetings where you offer your company's product and negotiate the price. An interview with Clarabelle Kersey will help you better understand your task and summarize the collected information. Introduce yourself, compliments on the cafe's decor, ask for coffee and a piece of cake, and get down to business. Ooh, customer's attitude, okay. Choose from the available phrases to start a conversation. Well, let's compliment the game menu. Settings. Alright.
The world of 2021 is ruled by coffee.
How's that? Ooh, lab assistant. Nice. Alright, let's compliment her on her decor.
Hello, Miss Clarabelle. The cafe looks great. Really bright, cozy, homely.
Hello. Thanks. The decor was my father's work. He was very careful to create a friendly atmosphere. Please don't call me miss.
Sorry, it's your hairstyle. You look so young, I couldn't help myself. But fine. First names only.
Great. Let's get down to business.
I want to ask about your childhood. I know there are painful memories, but it's important for the case.
All right. I've had time to get some distance on it. How can I help?
Tell me, how you coped after your mother's death.
Well, not too well. Dad hated talking about it. He worked a lot, went away a lot. And me? I remember lying there, crying. Mr. Pensy was with me. He took my temperature, brought me cups of tea. I was alone.
Any friends? School psychologist?
I had this one friend, Amy. She came to cheer me up a couple of times, but I think I wore her out. I was incredibly shy as a child. The school psychologist sent me to a psychiatrist for medication. I was supposed to go there with an adult, but it never happened.
Why? Something changed. Something got better?
Yeah, you could say it was thanks to Mr. Van Haven.
Hold on, I'll write this down. Who was it?
Joseph Van Haven, Dad's friend from college. He and his wife Amanda offered to take care of me, together with his housekeeper. I was to sleep at my home, spend the day with them, mainly with Mrs. Fink, the housekeeper. Dad immediately agreed.
And you? Did you have any say in it?
I was a bit scared at first, but they were really nice. They were like my family. They still are.
Thanks, Clarabelle. That's a lot of help. Can you give me a contact number for Van Haven and Fink? I'd like to ask them a few questions.
Sure, here you go.
Great. Who do you think I should meet first?
Mr. Van Haven. Visit him posing as a sales rep. Sell him some coffee. He's a really nice guy and a good candidate for checking your abilities.
Investigative abilities?
Business and negotiating. Remember that you operate undercover and you must be credible. Only then will investigative skills come in handy.
Ask her about father's disappearance, or get into the details. I'm not sure if I need to write stuff down or not. I might be in trouble. Alright, let's talk about your father. Remind her about the plan and what was agreed last time? No. Let's ask her where we could get knowledge necessary for negotiation.
I'm not sure I'm a negotiator. How can I learn? Can it be learned?
Of course. Start with the handbook I gave you. The techniques in there are enough to get you your first clients. They won't be too demanding. After that, well, you know, practice makes perfect.
Did you have to say that?
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I do see it. I have pen and paper. What about running a firm?
Explain the basics about running a business to me. Better still, as a manager, shouldn't I have a competent deputy? Then I can concentrate on, being a boss, and the deputy makes sure we don't go under.
Last time you said you always worked solo.
Me? Are you thinking of someone else? There are lots of detectives called Oliver.
Take it easy, Arthur. No deputies. We don't have the cash for it. Start by visiting all the departments. You'll learn how to establish the scale of production, audit advertising activity, and plan expenditure, as well as team building and managing people.
Huh. So, I might find a deputy?
Of course. I'm sure you'll pick it all up faster than you imagine. A lot of our processes are automated, so you're not likely to cause any catastrophes.
Thank God.
You're sure good at encouragement. Okay, I'll give it a go. How do I set up a meeting with a client?
You can't just charge straight at it. First, you have to have a credible business proposition. To prepare that, you need to know what the client needs.
They always want the same. Something cheap and high quality.
More or less, but it's a little more subtle than that. Give this list of Dad's contacts to the people in the management department. They'll set up the first meetings for you and get the clients interested, so you can practice your sales pitch.
So, then I go and see them and close the deal. Is that all?
That's about the half of it. Before meeting them, you have to find out who you're dealing with, so you know how to approach them. Preparation is vital to good negotiating. By assigning specific tasks to employees, you can get interesting information about clients that will be helpful during the meeting.
I see. Is there anything in this work that isn't vital?
Sure, a gun license for start.
Hey, Donut. Hi, sis. What happened to your father?
What should I know about Richard's disappearance?
Neither I nor Uncle Henry have a clue what happened to my dad. Have you looked at the materials from the last meeting? Everything I know is in there.
Alright, well, since we've gone through everything.
You remember what we agreed yesterday. What do I need to know?
I reckon there's a business connection involved in my dad's disappearance. To find out who, you're going to have to get the London business community to trust you.
Pretending to be a sales rep, right?
Well, you're really going to become one. You're going to set up meetings, set up deals, and sign contracts. You'll be managing a team, planning budgets. It's the only way to be credible and get closer to the suspects. So, we need to practice sales meetings.
Can't I interrogate them the usual way? You know, put a gun to the temples like in the old days? I don't need to practice that, you know.
Focus, Arthur.
Okay, I was only joking. So I'm a sales rep, right?
Sales manager. And no, that doesn't mean you can use a gun.
I'm a businessman with standards. Coffee.
So, where do we get the coffee from?
The production department sees to that. Using the console in your office, you decide how much of a given brand to produce in a given week. You'll be starting with a single type, classic standard.
Okay, then what?
Later, you can start working on other brands because different clients have different needs. It's also worth making production more efficient. It's costly and can hold up production, but it pays off in the long term. You have to keep an eye on production costs and warehouse levels.
Warehouse. Okay, I think I've got all that.
This word, warehouse. How do you use it in a sentence is what he sounded like. Yes, we're in Neo-London. In a world where coffee consumption grew by 20%, or the world did. So, coffee is life. If we don't have at least one light roast, ew, I don't like light roast.
How do I run my team?
It's like this. In the management board, you assign tasks to groups and how many hours per week they have to complete them. Neglecting tasks, i.e. managing production or account management, can lead to production failure or suspension of deliveries. Make sure employees are busy.
Okay, what else?
Lead acquisition and due diligence will allow you to arrange meetings and get valuable information about your clients that will be useful during a business meeting.
Okay, let's say I manage to sell something. What then?
You can also assign project management tasks. Each production upgrade or marketing campaign is treated as a project that needs to be taken care of. Staff training helps develop their competences.
That's just what I wanted to ask about. Where do I get new employees from?
The relevant forms are in the HR department. We always have a few candidates for employment waiting in the wings.
So you can only afford to have me, but we could hire other people and there's an entire HR department? You're taking notes for me? Water has been replaced by coffee.
I guess I should also be overseeing the costs and expenses. Where do I find out about that?
Finance. A detailed list of income and expenditure is in the profit and loss account.
What if there's nothing in my account and I need a loan?
You can borrow money, but only up to the company's debt limit.
Clarabelle, did you ever hear of a detective in debt?
Nope, but I've read of a few.
Guatemala and Colombia.
What if I need to advertise a product? I might get to more people that way.
Advertising campaigns are available from the marketing department. Remember to choose the right campaign type for the specific brand of coffee. A well-chosen campaign will increase brand awareness and demand for your products.
After my first meeting, I might need a campaign like that. Just a little one.
Have more faith, Arthur. We'll do some more negotiating training first.
Seeing as I'm managing people, I'll have to assess their work and look after them. How do I learn how to do that?
Everything about HR matters can be found in metal cabinets. First of all, make sure to motivate your staff. It improves their work levels. Dissatisfied workers work badly and often leave.
Let's move on. Can I train a team like you're training me now?
Sure, in this same section, you can access lessons on improving your employees' competence.
The BTs will continue until morale improves. That is how we're running this. Kappa.
I don't really know the London coffee market. In fact, I don't really know anything about any market. How do I work out what coffee to produce and who to sell it to? Where do I find information about current and potential clients?
In the sales section, look into the computer. You'll find contacts to clients, what brand of coffee they buy, and whether there is an appointment arranged.
Let's say I'm feeling well prepared. What then?
Then it's time for a business meeting. Just dress up right and get to the right place on time.
One more thing. Let's say I sign a contract on poor terms. Then I become a better negotiator, and I don't like the contract anymore. Can I break it?
During the meeting, you can always opt out of signing the contract, or simply stop the conversation and leave. If after signing you do not assign employees to service the contract, the client will terminate the cooperation after some time.
I know this is a big dump without any of the menus that I'm going to be using to do this. But I know everything now.
I know everything now.
Yes, we have to practice contract negotiating. As it happens, I need a fresh delivery. Let's roleplay the scene where you offer me a contract. Ready?
Couldn't be readier. Let's start.
Yeah, sure. But first, let's learn about the process before we actually do it.
What do I need to bear in mind during a meeting with a client?
Their personality, needs, and preferences, which you looked into prior to the meeting.
Cool. You mentioned client needs.
Yes, every client states their needs for specific brands of coffee. Manage the ongoing production so that you can meet all your clients' needs.
I don't have a clue about drawing up contracts. What should a contract contain, and what do I need to remember?
Oh, that's simple. After the initial conversation, a standard formula contract comes up. Your job is to establish the unit price for the coffee. I'll give you a standard form to look at.
Great. You read my mind like a natural negotiator.
Please concentrate, Arthur. One more thing. Some clients always insist on delivery and insurance, others don't. Those options can always be negotiated and can earn extra income.
Extra income sounds good. I'll bear it in mind.
Alright, so, we're a former cop who quit after the tragic death of our beloved, Catherine, who is her mother. However, her father disappeared. Her father was away on a trip, and the mother tried to get some money because he owed people some money, and ended up dead. He tried to help her but was unsuccessful. And then now he's back after all these years because they've asked him to go undercover as a sales manager of their coffee whatever, to also get close to the clients and find the killer. And we're just getting started, so I don't know shit.
I think I'm ready. Let's try a negotiation and point out anything I get wrong. And when I recover from that, you can give me some more tips.
Okay, let's begin negotiating.
Okay. I got this. Good morning. I've come about your coffee supplies, namely the classic standard. We can offer competitive terms and, what was next?
No, if you start like that, there's no way you'll succeed. You have to be prepared for negotiating and know what to start the conversation with. Improvising is okay too, but it has to be snappy.
I can do snappy.
Great, show me.
Good morning. Is that coffee cake? That smells good enough to stop traffic.
Really? Thanks for saying so. We just finished baking it. Here it is.
Wow, it looks better than it smells. Did you make this, Miss Clarabelle Kersey, I presume? I've come to talk to you about coffee supplies.
Not bad, Arthur. A well-judged compliment can work wonders. But some clients don't like them. Now do you see why doing your research on the customer is so important?
Yes, I knew you liked baking cakes, so I could mention it, but it's only a small thing from your private life.
Precisely. Everything can be useful during negotiations.
I don't think compliment's the right idea, but we're gonna do it.
Good morning. I've come to talk about supplying her coffee to you, but if I'm going to talk about coffee with such a lovely lady, it will have to be over a coffee.
Oh, come on.
Oh dear, Arthur. Complimenting my appearance or flirting with me really isn't a good idea in a business context. I know you meant to be nice, but someone else might take it differently. Very differently.
No, her attitude.
Good morning. As we agreed, I've prepared a contract to supply classic standard coffee. Would you like to go over the details?
That's not too bad, but clients don't always want to get right down to business. It's worth creating a friendly atmosphere and demonstrating goodwill. You want to try?
Friendly and goodwill. That's me. Can we move on to establishing the terms of the agreement? What does a contract like this look like?
Here's a standard contract. Here, look.
Show contract form. Pay attention to how costs and the generated profit change at different price settings. Just-in-time variant. Maximum variant. Production cost 16 units per week. Produce cost optimize. Profit. So we actually get more when it's because we spend less under optimization. Let's see. Classic standard Contract management requires 35 hours. Summary weekly revenue profit. Contract durations 20 weeks. Product quality. Neo London. Pay attention, generate costs at different price settings. You can freely set the price by moving the slider. Set the price too high, the customer will reject it. After setting the price, make offer. Impossible! Hard. Contract management required. 40 hours plus 12-hour premium services. 35-hour normal. Easy. Very easy. Cheap. So if we do like that, the high end of normal, maximize and optimize.
Good. That looks acceptable. Be prepared that the client will want to renegotiate the terms here. Assume that they're going to ask for a price lower by this percentage. How are you going to persuade me your offer is already attractive enough?
By this percentage. Nice. After the initial offer price negotiations begin, the customer responds with a counter offer asking for a specific price reduction. The current discount mentioned during the negotiations always displayed here. 15% price afterwards. Initial price per unit. Emphasize the low unit cost per pack of coffee. Agree to lower the price in order if they order more. Try to choose phrases in negotiation techniques so that the price discount is as low as possible and therefore the per price unit is as high as possible. Mention the product's quality. This one's in gold, but do I get to test all of these? I think I do.
Let's look at the price in relation to quality. Everything about our coffee's top drawer. Taste, aroma, and certification. Coffee like that at a price like this is a real bargain.
Let's assume I will agree for such discount. Every supplier claims his or her coffee is the best. How are you going to support your claims so they don't come across like empty boasts?
Some facts and figures to prove that this discount is a sensible bargain.
There you go, Arthur. That's how you support your credibility and generate client trust. But it would be better if you actually knew some data. For a first go at negotiating, that went pretty well. Let's say I'll sign the contract, but I have one more proposal. The first month's batch for lower price. Agreed?
Agree, don't agree, reveal the tactic being applied, propose altering the contract to suit the client. First time discounts is normal to me, and I agree. Get them hooked on the stuff, right? Let's accept.
Okay, it's a reasonably big order, so I guess we can do that.
The client is sure to be happy, but does it still pay for you? Conceding too easily to surprise conditions can cost you a lot.
Okay, you've got me there. I'll remember that.
I think that covers everything. Now it's time to put it into practice, both as a business person and a negotiator. Make sure you swat up on the materials and look at this week's tasks.
Thank you. I'm sure it will all prove helpful in this investigation and in finding your father. See you soon, Clarabelle.
Thanks, Arthur. It means a lot to me. Now it's up to you, and I think you're the last hope I've got.
See the signed contract. Negotiation rating good. Maximum possible. Okay. When the customer agrees to the arrangements, he signs the contract. You still review the terms to finally decide if you want to sign it or try again to negotiate better terms. Let's try again. I'm practicing here. Oh shit, how much of this we gotta go through?
Hello, Miss Clarabelle.
Hello.
I'm gonna skip this because we kinda
Sorry,
did this.
it's your hairstyle.
Oh, look at all that text!
You look so young, I couldn't...
Great. Let's get down to business.
Tell... Any friend?
I have.
Right?
What?
We're making some deals.
Hold on.
We're businessmen
Just-
with standards here.
That was.
Thanks.
Sure.
Great.
Miss.
Oh my
Bus-
god, from all the way back here?
I know it.
Yeah.
Could... I think...
Okay.
Well, let's start by giving a compliment.
Good morning.
Really.
Wow.
Not
Yeah.
precise.
Can we move on to it?
Here's a.
I'm still gonna go for right about here. Wall of text, right? It says I can have a maximum, but I'm just gonna play how I'm gonna
Good.
play.
That looks acceptable.
The quality of the product.
Let.
I don't like the other
Hey.
two options. Let's try revealing the tactic being applied.
Last requests, eh? I like that technique too, but I'm afraid I can't do it. Let's stick to what we established.
That's a risky step. Revealing the client's tactics can work, but you have to be sure that's what they're up to. Otherwise, you can upset them and lose the deal. I think that covers everything. Now it's time to.
Thank you.
Thanks, Arthur.
Alright, we're gonna give it a go. However this gameplay goes, if I throw her into bankruptcy, so be it. New contract has been signed. Be regularly transferred to your account within the next 20 weeks. Prepare to handle this contract by assigning employees to the appropriate task. You can view the contract terms in the sales section.
I should sum up what happened after that meeting.
A new part of the story has been discovered. Click on the comic icon to see the fragment of the story and get clues from the investigation board. Viewing the comic is required to proceed to the next turn. After the last conversation, a new part of the story has been discovered. Click the file icon. Okay, fine. Continue. We're still in the tutorial, so I can't click around.
Someone important lives here. That's what the Kersey home seemed to be saying. This is where the investigation begins. Walking in, Clarabelle hugged herself. From the cold, cute. Clarabelle only slept here little. After her mother's death, she was taken in by Joseph Van Haven, her father's friend, who treated her like his own daughter. His wife tried. Mostly, though, she left her to the housekeeper, Mrs. Fink. Why did the Van Havens raise the Kersey kid? A friendly favor? Guilt. The servant greeted Clarabelle with a stack of unopened letters. She stuffed them into her bag and went inside. A lot to catch up, I joked. And Clarabelle explained that she no longer lives in the residence with her beloved. I asked for a family photo of the Curses. There was an exotic-looking guy in the midst of a sea of pale Brits. Mr. Gabriel was an artist who taught Clarabelle to draw. He looked pretty stiff, probably trying to avoid her dreamy eyes. In the living room, among many works of art, a spot after a taken-down painting drew my attention. It was a peculiar view. Clarabelle told me the painting belonged to her mother. One day, Richard simply packed it up and took it to Joseph. Did he want to sell it? Hide it? I didn't get a chance to ask. Clarabelle answered an urgent call and, apologizing, left in a hurry. I went to gather my thoughts. Catherine's death, Richard's disappearance, the unusual arrangements with the Van Havens, that picture. Clarabelle was right. A detective was needed here. But I have my own reason for this. To get Catherine's killer. All in good time. The last lead is Richard's disappearance. Perhaps the best-known coffee supplier in London. I'll start by entering into his world. That means turning into a businessman. My first customer will be Richard's old friend and Clarabelle's ward, Joseph Van Haven. Clarabelle gave me his address and phone number. He's an old, experienced trader. I'd better prepare thoroughly. Need to check the investigation board.
Thanks to your actions, you have managed to gather new clues. More materials appear on the investigation board. Review the available information and try to link the facts. Mag is like, he did it! He gives me the creeps, he did it! New contractor, Joseph Van Haven, available in the sales. As you learn new parts of the story, you gain new clues, information about the investigation. Click here to open the investigation section.
Now I need to set the new clues and data on the board.
You collect and analyze all clues and information about the investigation. Try to familiarize, gather clues to description. Collecting information will help you rebuild the course of events and discover the whole story. Each time you get new clues or information, they will flash on the right tray corner. Transfer them to the main board. Click on the clue to review details. Notice a file letter sticking out of Clarabelle's purse. A lot to catch up. I joked that she moved out and now lives with her beloved, so she's picking up mail once a week. Well, the heart wants what it wants, and our parents, well, they don't always support our choices, she said. Key observations: a file of letters, moved out of her father's mansion, lives with her beloved. Contains a few more details worth analyzing them. Some of the clues can be combined with others by associating facts. You can obtain new conclusions and thoughts regarding the investigation. New people you learn about appear in this tray. Click and move them to the board. Contractor. Me, maybe I did it. Richard Kersey, okay. Catherine, Richard's wife, and my love. Henry Kersey, Richard's brother. Fink, governess. She looks like she did it. Mr. Pensy. Majordomo? Chef? Is that chef? He looks like he's ready for Iron Chef. Well, I can't read who you are. Or you. Looks like I can't scroll. Joseph's wife. Okay. I don't know yet, Sia. You know as much as I do. Exclamation mark next to the photo indicates unread information. New information may also appear previously drawn. Discover characters as the investigation process. Click the Polaroid. Click on the photo, gives the character description, information related to him or her so far. Empty space on the wall. Drawing teacher. Overdue letters. The childhood. Richard's disappearance. Don't remember the birth. When I met her, she had already attending school. Heard a lot from her mother. Beautiful eyes. Sweet innocence. Creepy. To organize the information collected so far. Crib, coffee, missing father, phone call, case closed. Analyze events and information to see how they relate to each other. Must complete the investigation. You must also discover the entire graph. Defective stories. We love them too. Sia probably knows more than. Thanks, Donuts. Check out current tasks on the to-do list. Contract has been made. New task made available. Start new brand production. Espresso standard. Business meeting with Joseph Van Haven. Meet with Joseph. Assign a contract. Find connections between two clues. Collect cash. Click here to open the sales section. Since a new contract has now been signed, the product is sold after the price has been set up. Pay attention to the conditions of the coffee in stock. Always make sure you have a stock of coffee for the next delivery, or keep producing just in time. That's not how I roll. Love you too, Donut. Let's see. Sign 16, we have 20 in stock, so we good on that front. By delivering a full order, you will immediately receive this amount in your account. It's your revenue. The real profit for the batch is made after deducting the previous incurred production costs. You have enough product in stock. You can send this order now. Joseph, a new customer interested in offer, meet him. You must make some preparations. This customer reports a demand for a specific brand of coffee with a certain level of quality. To be able to attend a meeting, you must start producing coffee that the customer wants to buy. Espresso standard. To meet with the client, additional conditions must be met. So we need to make 16 units of it. We have to arrange the meeting. We need to find 2 bits of information about the client. Hey, looking for some coffee? Got some real good shit here, man. Just came in. Where'd you get it from? Fell off a truck. What does it matter? Open production. Alright, so investigation, tasks, production. Niner. Do it. We have an airplane. I don't know what the fuck knobs I'm looking at. Section, set a coffee production for a given week. Console allows you to accurately determine the number of packages ready for sale. Allows you to control costs for each quantity, starting modernizations and display quantity of goods in the warehouse. Point things to make sure the quantity of the product of the warehouse is ongoing production is enough to cover current sales. New clients interested in espresso coffee standard. Click here to start the production of this brand. Coffee brand is Cappuccino Classic. Espresso has been created. Bases of Arabica? Arabica. and robusta, therefore has a distinctive characteristic taste, a rich aroma thanks to everything traditional roasting methods, dedicated to those who appreciate a balanced aroma, flavor, and strength of coffee. I know there is so much damn info! Say your production volume is 60 units to have a product that your customer will buy the next week. Okay. Assign an employee to the task in the management section to set the appropriate amount of hours. Okay, hold on. We'll get to that. So we're making 16 quantities, fixed cost, variable cost, total cost. Average cost, $3.59. Arabica, Arabica. Alexander, you should know by now, I do not. Pay attention whether you have enough goods for the next delivery in accordance to the signed contract. The batch will go to the warehouse next week. You need to set up production in advance to have stock. I can plan. I can do that. Thanks for your support, Donut. Way to reinforce what I just said. Yo, I can always count on you. Total cost will be deducted from the cash amount of the current week. Pay attention, average cost by producing more, it is lower in the long run, and it pays off to produce more and sell your stocks. Current production volume will go to the warehouse in the coming week if your employee takes care of everything. Click here to open the management section. Thank you for defending me, Mag! Yeah! Love you guys too. Alright, management section. The work of employees by assigning them to tasks, the spend on them. The main thing is not to neglect tasks that are particularly important for a company, but be careful with forcing your employees to work overtime. There were laws. On the left side of the column, portraits. If you don't have any employees, you can hire them in the HR department. Assignment to the task is done by dragging the portrait onto the task card. Launching production of selected coffee brands requires proper supervision. Assign an employee to this task to ensure that the planned batch is produced properly. Lead acquisition and due diligence. Wholesale account management. Production management. Well, okay, you're... Contract management has to provide oversight of delivery to ensure that the agreed batch is delivered without problems. Arrange a meeting and obtaining customer information required to sign a contract. You can modify the number of hours of an employee has to spend on a task in a given week. Some tasks require a certain number of working hours to complete them. Try to keep your employees busy. Assign workers to all unfulfilled tasks to meet the minimum requirements on each card. After completing all actions and setting activities in each section for a given week, click the hourglass to go to the next week. Alright. These are all the steps. Tutorial presenting the flow of the game. Now you're on your own. If you get something that's a short tutorial, start by clicking on the question mark in the upper right corner. There's no question mark there. Go to the meeting with the next client, take care of all the operations of each section. Above all, get clues to your investigation. Good luck! Quit to menu, HR, to-do list. Alright. I could produce more, which would reduce the average cost. Now how do I back out of this menu? Charts. Alright, so management. So, okay, so we can assign her to both, and she has a workload of 26 hours. $35 hours, so that's pretty good. Okay, so we could do this. Now, he is overworked, but... Right? We put him at 40 hours to maximize his time here. And actually here... I was thinking about assigning you to production management, Donuts. Fact with the case, you and me both. I'm just making sure that everything I did there was set because I pressed escape. Sales, so order has been sent. We are not in that just yet. Ooh, demands and charts. Sales. Finances, let's see. Revenue, costs, profit. We have no profit right now, but that's okay. We're going for the long run. Project. Did I say production? I know I know that you work with your words. I'm probably a production manager. Bro can take care of the finances. Even though I'd be good at it too, but it's a lot. He has better charts than I do. Loan offers. Ooh. Finance charts. Solid. I wonder how long do I have to do this too. HR? That's right, we can motivate and send for training. He has a workload of 95. Alright. Because he has extra hours. Everybody's working a good 40.
I think that's all I've got for now. Let's see if there are any connections.
Click one of the clues on the left. Okay. Okay, no, I don't know. Drawing teacher. Clipbro gave me a family album. As I was reviewing it, my attention was drawn to one of the photos adorned with the flowers and heart sign, Mr. Gabriel and me. Little Carabelle young man were in it. I asked for an explanation, learned that her drawing teacher and first love. Mr. Gabriel was very talented. We all thought that he would succeed as an artist, but I've never heard of him again, she said. Kirsty's home, known as Space Painting, used to be. It disappeared from the wall after the mother's death. She remembered that Richard packed it in a gray paper and went to Uncle Joseph. Weird coincidence. Want to ask more? Clearburg on the phone, answered by the Major Domo. After which he quickly left, did not have the occasion to bring up the topic. 3 attempts available in this round. Can we connect these?
No. This won't work.
Clues you've connected, not a proper match. Remember to combine according to the highlighted text fragments. If you complete all your attempts per round, try again in the next one. Okay. Gotta use the tableau. Let's just file of letters. I don't see. I get more attempts in another round. Let me just try this.
No. This won't work.
Okay, I'm not even gonna bother trying the other one. Long-standing friend, entrusted, a lot of things that we were told. Catherine's request in the back area, pleading speech. Oh my god, this game is a lot more intense than I thought it would be. Oh, here we go, guys. Mornings, Catherine author romance. Mornings still is misty. I like to take one walks around the river with cement shoes near the tower where I met an attractive blonde in a green coat. Lost in thoughts back when we thought that we belonged to each other. That love will spark within us, burn us fast, sure from our fuses. And Catherine's husband, Richard, I thought he'd just be our canon father. I'll probably never shake off the past. How could I if I lost the love of my life, Catherine, because of Richard? That jackass husband never loved her for what she was. And did shady deals. She took the money, asked for help. Okay, so a lot of it. Richard's disappearing. That evil mustache. You have Power BI again? Congratulations. Author. Clues. Are these like the answers, clues connected with the character? Dung Ming guy, fucking criminal. Oh, kill my beloved Kate. Don't you ever make him pay. Vengeance. Okay, so we have that. We've done production. We've done the investigation. We've set up the management. HR, task, story pages. We looked at the finances. Let's take a look at the sales again. Alright, we looked at the sales. Menu. Save game! Currents, progress, currents. All right. First things first, chat. I've been trying to do a lot better, and I drank a bunch of water before I started. Alright, the good news is I don't think I have to write much for this. Yeah, I love you too, bro. No hall passes for bathroom breaks. Alright. You want to finish this? We produce coffee bags. We go to warehouse. Employees will perform task cost bureau. Send coffee. Remaining weeks in this chapter 19 max. Okay.
I think I didn't set the production properly. I need to plan my actions.
You are selling more than you are producing. The current production is not enough. Okay. But I have stock. Like, we should be good. Wait. Excuse me. So. Okay. I see what I did wrong. Hold on, let's take a look at this. She good? We already had those two. Okay.
I think that's all I've got for now. Let's see if there are any connections.
Alright, so that's okay. Yeah, I was thinking over the whole duration for some stupid reason. So actually I should probably make 20 here also. Because the average cost in the long haul, and I have them for such a long duration. And I could hold this in the warehouse if I don't get ready to do it next time around. I kind of want to... You know what? Maybe I need to stand up. The love of coffee in New London is so strong that people started using it as a spice in their meals, or the key ingredient in their dishes. Some restaurants committed the whole menus to the world experienced great technological advances. The 20s aesthetic technology, clothing, and transports are developing, but still have an elegant retro design. Oh my god, they just say stuff. Click.
Another report. Hope there's some good news.
Total revenue amounted to $773. Remember the main goals and maximize revenue. Warehouse is almost full. It's impossible to store further batches of coffee without storage space. Sell residual goods or increase storage capacity by upgrading. Valuable information found. Oh, that's right. About Joseph Van Haven, he recently became a father of a lovely little daughter. This information could be used during the conversations to gain the client's favor. So, I heard you have a new daughter. Tell me what I need to know. Beginning, you receive a report summarizing events. Okay.
Someone placed an order. The deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
One-time order. New independent customers place a one-time delivery for 4 units. Price per unit. Production costs. But I have extra already on the side. So I have the 4 to spare. And it's at the cost that I made it at. Except... in stock I have 8, so... Okay, so we did that. We have new
That's all I've
clues.
got for now. Let's see if there are any connections.
Right, don't you have a daughter? Do we have... Oh, no, we have to do that in negotiations. Alright, production. Production 6. Did we not make all of it? Well, we could throw the whole production at this one because we have the stock, but we don't have anywhere to sell it yet, right? And most of that stuff doesn't change. Work satisfaction, 82%, 82%. So, we need them to rest, except for you. If we're not gonna get it done this week, we might as well get it done next week, right? What if we just do the safe 35 hours? And what if we just drop you down failure risk really low? I see. Alright, we'll give them an easy week. They worked hard that first week, alright? I mean, there isn't that much to do, right? Like, we're basically good. Coffee bags will go. We have the production already assigned. Although, hold on.
I think that's all I've got. Let's see if there are any connections.
Like, we're not producing any this week, right? So I can just do that. I did not want to do that. And we can't seem to get to 0%, so... How about that? Fork is a lot more convenient. If we... a new upgrade's been ordered. The result will be visible after the work is completed. Assign employee to this task. Okay. Alright. Project management. Donut, where are you? Now, this is not her specialty. But she's got time available. Right? Alright, let's go. Let's see. Coffee's been made and employees assigned. Costs will be deducted from the cash. Sent coffee to the customers. Yes.
Have I assigned all the tasks properly?
Some of these tasks left unattended may cause consequences next week, but I'm not making it. I'm not making that coffee. So it's a conscious decision. Cafe late.
Another report. Hope there's some good news.
Revenue, thanks to monetization, storage costs decreased, and warehouse capacity up. Alright. We don't have any new sales. We need to find information. So let's start there. Information about the clients. Okay. Work satisfaction. What? What's safe target? Well, I need to do that. work satisfaction. Okay, so your work satisfaction went up. Well, you're gonna have an easy day there.
I think that's all I've got for now.
All right.
Let's see if there are any connections.
How much money do I have again? 40 cash at the beginning of the week, cash next week. What do we spend? Cost of production. Oh. Let's deliver that now. So we'll keep producing that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. Handbook. Oh no, it's okay. So we're gonna find the last bit of clues and keep producing coffee. And that's basically it. Marketing. Marketing will probably come after after some of this stuff.
Have I assigned all the tasks properly?
I've already got the same one not being handled as intended.
New week, fresh start.
So far, total revenue amounts, remember, historical, valuable information. He's studying the London School of Economics. How am I supposed to beat him in a game of business? Could be useful during negotiations. Okay. So there's nothing there. Work satisfaction. Deliver that because that's what we're doing. Okay, send for training. Since you have no workload, can we send you for training? Duration 6 hours. Let's do that. And for you, can we motivate? Personal commendation, one-time bonus, effect, plus 54 satisfaction at 54% or 54 units of something. And you know what? We're gonna send you for training as well. Because I have a feeling that you're going to be producing a lot of stuff. Yeah, so some of the hours are applied there. I could actually do that for him too, and do some in parts. Because the better he is at it, the better bonus we get. So that it'll be less work on him, so his work satisfaction will go up. I think that might be something we look at. Okay. Current. Alright, chat, you ready to negotiate? Born and in Boston, moved to the United Kingdom. After college, he started work as a purchase supply specialist in Foxy Hall's company. Joseph has friendly personality conversations that are full of stories and digressions. Even this one from his private life. He hates corporate jargon and too professional, pompous approach, which makes him really upset. We have information about his lovely daughter and that he studied economics. Donut, I'm gonna need your help on this one. See ya! You'll have to catch me when I fuck up. When I fuck up. Shit. Introduce yourself and explain where you got the contract information from. Well, yes, because of course, he knows about his pseudo daughter, right? You know, obviously, like, he make the immediate connection, right? Say hello? Uh-oh. I've got conflicting ones. But see, he doesn't like, you know, this proper jargon. We gotta be friendly. Not hello too abrupt. I agree. I think we gotta build the connection with the clients.
Good morning, Mr. Van Haven. Arthur Oliver. I'd like to talk to you about our coffees. Clarabelle Kersey recommended I speak to you. She said she knows you well.
Ah, yes. Welcome. Naturally, I was expecting you after Clary phoned. Sweet girl, isn't she?
Lovely. Actually, really lovely, considering what she's been through at such a young age. The stuff about her parents. It's true, isn't it?
Sadly, yes. A terrible, brutal thing for such a child. You see, her parents were friends of mine. After Catherine died and Richard usually been absent, my wife and I did all we can to provide a normal upbringing for her. You've seen yourself how, despite all this, Miss Kersey is doing very well.
Oh, yes, and she's a tough negotiator.
I taught her well. She could always get you to read for 1 more hour, go for 1 more walk, or give her a bigger portion. It comes in very useful as an adult, but you don't have all day to listen about the young Kersey girl. Let's take a look at what you brought with you. I can't wait to see.
Nice photo. From your student days?
Yes. Being young is wonderful when the world is your oyster.
You speak as if it's over.
What? You mean I don't look like it? You are a card, Mr. Oliver. Well, I do try to move a bit so as to not become totally desk-bound.
It shows. And the man next to you, isn't that Richard Kersey?
The very same. He was my best friend at university and since. And these are our charming wives. Actually, our fiancés then. Catherine Seeger and Amanda Okote.
You look a close bunch.
We were, then, but life writes strange scenarios. The best of friends can fall out over the silliest things, and other people are worth forgetting.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I keep the picture to remember the good times. Let's return to the here and now. Mr. Oliver, things are looking up.
Ask him about his studies. Well, we just kind of went away from that. Maybe we should congratulate him on the here and now, which is the birth of his daughter. Am I right? That's what I think. Sure.
Congratulations on the birth of your daughter. I hope both the mother and baby are doing well.
Ah, thank you. Both in good health, and so similar. I tell you, they look like sisters. It's amazing how a person passes on their genes and then watches as they live their own life.
It seems you're enjoying your new role.
Not at first, but it's getting better and better. Despite my super condition, I'm not as young as I was, and the little one demands so much attention, just like our business. Let's get down to it, shall we?
All right, I think it's time to get to business. You know, a little bit of conversing, but you said it twice now, so maybe it's time to get to business. Loosely present the product. Talk about the product using the learned professional spiel, but he doesn't like the technological jargon according to what I read. Right, so we're not going for the business approach. It's kind of like, hey player, look at what I found.
We're new on the market, but we have a lot of experience in the field. We have a unique variety of coffee, trusted suppliers, and top quality equipment. We offer excellent quality at a good price. Miss Clarabelle has already dealt with us, and she's sure not to sell you a pup.
That's great. Quality is my top priority, and that's what I taught Clarabelle, so it's a recommendation of sorts. And if we're talking about quality, my wife bought me a cigar not long ago. Came in a carved wooden box, well-known brand, and the aroma, aromatic tobacco like from the top drawer.
Like it got chucked in there by accident?
Precisely. It was filthy. After smoking it, I felt so nauseous, I spat it into the bin. I opened all the office windows and even had to use air freshener, so it's best if we both assess the quality. It's hard to find these days.
Let's keep listening. I don't think there's a need to push this. There is something said about a good quality cigar and box, Alexander. You know, maybe I should listen to you, find out more about this.
I used to be interested in the effect of different cultures on negotiations. In Japan, there is a need for distance. Don't even dare to look someone in the eye. It's even harder with the Swedes. They're so serious. Oh, this is a good one. Do you know the difference between an introvert Finn and an extrovert one?
I really have no idea.
The first, throughout the whole conversation, looks at his shoes. The second looks at yours. It's a good one, isn't it?
Funny joke. Let's return to sales pitch.
Well, you can learn so much from visiting a client. But anyway, to get back to the aim of my visit, can we discuss the deal?
But of course, I was rambling, but you have to admit, it's a fascinating aspect of business.
Here's the contract. Sales margin, 57.76%. Let's see. Profits, managed requirements. I'm just being real safe and going with the normal here. Product quantity, alright.
Your proposal exceeds my current capabilities. I suggest we cut the delivery charges, or just lower the product cost to compensate them. The price on the contract will then be lower by this percentage. That's a sensible concession, and I really can't offer any more than that.
Suggest that Joseph is only one of several potential clients. Pretend you don't know much about negotiating to gain sympathy tactic of contemplating. That one's a hard pass. Business is business. Talk about the problems of a beginner salesperson, mentioning Joseph's youth. Try to play on his younger side or lie to him. False BATNA. I'm really leaning towards the role reversal here. Leave. Fuck this shit. 30. Sales margin 38%. I don't think I could do that much. Let's try this.
That's too high a price for such a new company like mine, Mr. Van Haven. The market is saturated, and that's why we want to compete on quality, not price. When you were starting out, would you have agreed to these terms?
Unfortunately, yes, I would. My first contract was a disaster, but I thought that was the way it was. It's difficult at the beginning, but don't lose heart. Solid arguments can soften the heart of even the hardest businessmen. Do you have any?
I'm gonna flat out refuse. Complain awkwardly about the cut in supply price. Nah. We stick with this.
Well, definitely our quality, which we have to persuade our suppliers about. They're very distrustful. Lots of them don't even want a meat like this. That's why I'm so grateful to you for being open to try new things. I'd like to earn your trust, but not at the cost of such a price reduction.
I understand you. When I started out, someone believed in me and trusted me too. Maybe that will happen here too if you can offer me a better deal. Let's start with cutting the delivery charges. They're the easiest thing to resign from to cost the value of the contract by this much.
Love you, Donut. Have a good night. Say no to the price reduction. Continue a technique. I don't think so. I think it's working plenty. Offer future benefits in return for a concession now. Ask if Joseph has any doubts or needs to consult it with him, emphasizing that he isn't the one that should have any. I got some edge, so I'm not willing to stay the course. Offer future benefits. Ask if Joseph has any doubts or needs to consult it with anyone, emphasizing that he isn't the one that should have any. You could just bring in samples. I mean, if the game allowed me to. Yeah, you would think reading that again. Multitasking, but we'll do. See, it's all for fun. I'm good. Everybody phone call Donut that we need to bail. That we need to bail him for bail J-Pop out for embezzlement. Offer. See, I don't feel the need to offer anything. I'm unsure about this, but I think I want to go with this.
We both know your offer is too expensive. I'd have to discuss it with my boss, whereas I'm pretty sure you don't need to ask anyone else about such a small detail, right?
And that's where you're wrong, Mr. Oliver. I have a boss too, and I can tell you, he wasn't at all convinced about our meeting. Maybe he was right? I'll take a risk. Would a cut in delivery charges to reduce the price by this percentage be acceptable to you?
Uncover Joseph's bluff about his boss. Shoot! I still like just the 10%. Just a 10% discount? I kind of like that. Like, I'm okay with this. Is business 10%? I can agree.
Okay, Mr. Van Haven. I can agree to those terms.
Great! You worked me hard, but I think the prospects for collaboration look interesting. Let's sum up what we've established and sign the forms.
maximum possible. 74% at maximum price. I'm doing pretty good. Your profit margin went down from 56 to 53. Yeah. Like the 30? Oh, hell no. When he went to 11, I'm like, okay, you know what? 10. All right, we cool. We cool. We cool. Sign this shit. Business me with standards. New contract's been signed. The amount will be regularly transferred for the next 17 weeks. Together this contract, view the contract.
I should sum up what happened after that meeting.
Story time, folks.
Van Haven's a good businessman. He welcomed me like an old friend and led me past the pictures. Clients were supposed to see signs of Joseph's education and worth. But me? I spotted a young, cocky Richard with my Catherine. She had no idea what she had coming. The other woman was Amanda Van Haven. It must have been through their being two young married couples at the same time that Richard and Joseph became such close buddies. Joseph watched as I examined the photos. He smiled, apparently at the memories. He'd played this scene out hundreds of times. He told the story of what a close bunch they were, until the girls fell out over a trifle. What trifle? It's not even worth mentioning, nor anyone else, he added. Was he talking about the third woman in the picture?
Dun dun dun.
It puzzled me. Catherine never mentioned a conflict with Joseph's wife, Amanda Van Haven. And I never asked. I was, too busy falling in love with Kat. What trifle broke their long-term friendship? I wanted to ask after the negotiations. The telephone interrupted us. The call was from George McFowle with an urgent matter. Joseph chuckled. Another golden opportunity. And lifted the receiver. He pointed to his watch. It looked like it was going to be a long call. I nodded, gestured I'd give him a call, and left. It wasn't a good meeting. Van Haven kept talking right over me. On purpose? Or was he taking pity on me? Am I really that bad a salesperson? Regardless,
I don't think it was that bad.
he didn't tell me anything new about Richard's disappearance. At least he bought some coffee, though. Still, he seemed too cheerful to me as for someone whose close friend had gone missing recently. Or maybe they were friends in the past tense, just as he worded it by chance during our talk. One more thing was still troubling me. That missing painting from the Kersey's living room. Did its disappearance have anything to do with the case? And why did Richard take it to Joseph? Clarabelle might know the answers. I rang and asked her. She thought the painting was a memento from the founder of the family, Shallard Kersey, 18th century. Why did it get sent to Joseph? She didn't know. So back to Van Haven. I called, pretending to be the Kersey's lawyer. Mr. Van Haven, I've been instructed by Clarabelle Kersey to draw up an inventory of the family's works of art. He bought it, so I asked. If he still had Richard's painting, he muttered something about calling back and hung up. Why? Joseph's reaction suggested the painting was a good lead. I need to check it out discreetly. I'm curious about the other blonde in the photo. Why did the jovial Van Haven avoid mentioning her? Perhaps I'd get to ask her soon myself. Case closed for today. Time to get my head round the supplies for the new contract. I need to check the investigation board.
Alright, so we need to send. Order has already been sent. Send that order now. Production. So we need to do that. Assign employees to this task. Oh, we're still on the same week. Oh, no. She'll be fine. She's got training, so... Who do I hire? Post-sales account management. Like I'll need to have one-on-one, huh? I think that's the cost of doing business.
You're hired. Welcome aboard.
Congratulations. Now where were you the night of the 26th? Tomorrow's the 26th. Exactly. Okay, let's take a look at the investigation board.
Now I need to set the new clues and data on the board.
Mysterious blonde. An ingenious businessman. Painting and friends. Joseph noticed my glance at the photo, the entrance. Ah, wonderful youth. The world was open in front of us. Pointing at his wife, Amanda Catherine. His voice broke down. Well, sometimes. Darkest scripts, best friends, fallout, trifle. A mysterious blonde. Commissioner Gordon, secretary called an urgent phone call. George McFowl, golden opportunity. George's brain for business. Painting in friend's hand. Joseph pretended to be a lawyer. Draw family works of art. Kirsty's painting now in Joseph's possession. Was clearly surprised. Richard brought the painting indeed, but I don't have it now. A little busy right now, and then hung up. Alright, so if we connect them to the empty space on the wall.
No, this won't work.
Fuck. Characters, Schiller Kersey's painting. This is the painting. Jealous of that son of a bitch. Oh, new characters. Mysterious Blonde. Clarabelle's boyfriend. House. Oh. This is all out here with no connection. Clues auto-connect. I mean, I get some more chances. Chat! Give me one. You get one, chat. Who are we comparing to what? I don't care how ridiculous the answer as long as I haven't tried it already. Chat has fallen asleep. Chat didn't get their supply of coffee, apparently. Let's see. Photos, adorn, drawing teacher. Drawing teacher in the painting? Now in Joseph's possession, Richard brought the painting. Maybe?
No, this won't work.
Urgent phone call, golden opportunity for business. File of letters, move out of her father's mansion, lives with her beloved. I thought I tried these two already. You do what's more important, Sia. Thank you. Don't let me interrupt you. The rest of the chat has no excuse. There's also no coffee in here. I ain't offering you shit, Alexander. Kappa. Well, actually not. I'm not offering you anything. Except entertainment. Yeah, fuck it.
No, this won't work.
I don't know. So we're making the coffee. What do our finances look like? Alright, so we'll be down $3 grand. Revenue from sales, costs are going up. Alright. What's this?
This is a good lead, but the information may cost me a lot.
Actions that direct you to a feature character who can provide with new information. Matilda Pink. You want to meet immediately or later in this chapter. This conversation is necessary to move on in the storyline thread. Later. We got business to conduct. Alright, I think we're good. We hired somebody. Let's move a week. Order has been sent. Alright, we did that.
Another report. Hope there's some good news.
Experienced delivery accident. Oh no! Cargo damage. Some coffee bags are damaged from delivery. Some of the coffee bags were damaged, torn and flooded. It's not suitable for sale. Caused due to lack of observation, delivery process, and accepted standards. But I did! The result, too few hours allocated after sales increased hourly allocation for further. Decrease in satisfaction, contract service, contractual penalties. Training completed. But I did. But there's no chance of. Alright, we should go take it because it's business. I'm sorry, Clarabelle. I'm sorry that you are upset at this. Cash. Our cash is above the 50. We started at 50, right? Next week's cash, we got a small little profit, so we're doing okay. We're doing alright. And if we're doing alright, new upgrade has been ordered. And that's what we're gonna do. Cash next week, hold on. Did I miscalculate? Order has been sent. Let's give this a roll. Maintain employee satisfaction 75%.
So, what's going on in this company?
Modernization, warehouse is almost full. Loss. Generate income is not enough to cover all business expenses. Reduce the cost. Sign a new contract. Renegotiate a current one to ensure it. Alright, so we may be losing stuff fast, but we don't necessarily need to, Also, the stock is kind of full.
Someone placed an order. The deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
Alright, so we have plenty in stock of the classic standard. We need some of the espresso standard. Boom. Right. We're not doing that right now. That thing's been upgraded. And I feel like I have too many people now. Our profit should go up. Cash next week, yeah. Because we've built up the stock of this one, so we should be alright. I mean, As exceeds warehouse. Yeah, okay, so we may need to increase the warehouse another 1,000. Okay, we're gonna do that. Well, you're only working one production line today, so you should be fine. Cash next week, that'll be going up. So I think we're fine, because also we have this extra order to back it up. Now we have lots of weeks left, so, but... Alright.
This is a good lead.
Let's talk
but
with the
information may
Fink.
cost me lots.
We don't know anything about her. Like, we came into this so unprepared. Express your delighted meeting? No. Let me just thank her. I don't know anything about her.
Good morning, Mrs. Fink.
Good day, Mr. Oliver.
I'm very grateful you found time to meet me today.
Well, it wasn't easy. But I also have a fish to fry here.
Excellent. Let's get down to brass tacks then.
By all means.
She seems so serious. I don't think we need any charm. What about this bitch in the photo?
You've been in your boss's office on occasion, haven't you?
Of course. I go wherever I might be needed, Mr. Oliver.
No doubt. Anyway, in Joseph's...
Mr. Van Havens?
Yes, of course. I saw the photograph from his graduation there. You know the one.
Perhaps.
There are several people in it. I recognize them all but one. Icy blonde. Mr. Van Haven didn't want to speak about her. Why?
I'm not surprised. It's Britt Damoltfist. I have nothing to say about that woman.
Bitch! Oh.
So you know her then?
Only from the photo, like you. That's all.
How long has she worked for Mr. Van Havens?
How long have you worked for the Van Havens?
I do not work for them, Mr. Oliver.
Oh.
I run the house.
Okay. I like my work too. How long have you assisted the Van Havens?
In 1 month, it will be 19 years.
Wow. Impressive.
Not really. I simply do what is required of me.
Reliably and discreetly?
Just so.
And yet you agreed to meet me and divulge the family secrets. Why?
I have my reasons. And any secrets I might tell you. They pose no threat to the Van Havens.
Alright, then what was your role about raising Clarabelle?
You looked after the Kersey's daughter, didn't you?
I did. I don't have children, but I stood in for her mother as best I could.
I'm sure you did. Clarabelle impressed me a great deal.
I'm pleased to hear it. She's a good girl, if a little scatterbrained.
You can understand, losing mother at such a young age.
You too. People are too gentle with her. Miss Kersey was raised in conditions that many children could only dream of.
So she wanted for nothing.
Nothing at all.
Does like a person who bluntly gets to the point. I'm definitely more towards in that vein.
I know Richard Kersey and Mr. Van Haven were friends.
Maybe they were once.
What happened?
But their wives? Did Catherine Kersey and Amanda Van Haven get on well?
Them? I think they tried to maintain a level of decorum, in spite of everything.
Was there any conflict between them?
Nothing they ever mentioned. But before Kersey disappeared, there was that strange incident with the picture.
Picture?
Oh, forgive me. I was miles away. I worry an awful lot about how terribly expensive everything is getting. This damn government should be run out of office. Don't you agree?
Financially, I don't think you should have anything to worry about.
Very well. Shortly after his wife's death, Kersey brought Mr. Van Haven a picture. It was purportedly a family heirloom. Priceless.
Interesting. What happened?
Kersey was afraid of something. He asked for the painting to be looked after. Mr. Van Haven agreed at first. But then, you know how it is.
No. How is it?
Just think about it. Her husband never liked art. Then all of a sudden there's an enormous painting hanging in the living room. He suddenly got interested in interior design. You understand? Mrs. Van Haven is a smart woman. She was suspicious from the get-go.
I presume Mr. Haven didn't stand a chance.
Men never do, Mr. Oliver.
True.
He admitted he was only looking after the painting as a favor to Kersey. And when he mentioned what it was worth, and that it belonged to Catherine...
Poor guy.
Well, Mrs. Van Haven was furious. You could see that such an ostentatious reminder of a dead woman upset her. She ordered her husband to get rid of it immediately. Immediately.
Okay, all right. So there's some reasonable events that are coming around. What happened to the painting?
So what became of the painting?
First, Mr. Van Haven tried to return it, but Kersey wouldn't hear of it. He said that, after Catherine's death, he couldn't have the painting in the house.
But Mr. Van Haven had to listen to his wife, didn't he?
He did, and the painting disappeared. I don't know what became of it.
Mrs. Fink, you're priceless.
It would be rude to deny.
Mrs. Fink, is there anything else you want to tell me about? A clue or a piece of evidence that might help crack the Kersey case?
There is something, but the information will cost you.
I'm ready for that.
That photo you saw in Mr. Van Haven's office. Or rather, its print.
Go on.
This is it. Do you know whose face has been scraped off it?
Wait, that's Catherine Kersey, isn't it? Signed Viper.
Precisely.
Where did you get it?
From Mrs. Van Haven's personal album. She thinks she lost it, but won't ask the staff, of course. Keeping a photo like that would be a little strange, to say the least.
You mentioned it might cost me. How much for the photo?
That's why I met you. I want this much for it.
Only bro would get this, and too bad Donut is in here also. No, I'll hold on to that joke, bro. I'm holding on to it.
That's fine by me, Mrs. Fink. That's a fair price. And if it leads me to Kersey, it will even be a noble act.
Do you have any idea how much I paid at the hairdresser's last time? I've had the same style for 20 years, and they tried to rip me off like some naive tourist.
That's scandalous, Mrs. Fink. Allow me to cover the costs of your next visit.
And the colouring? I can't look like I was getting old now.
Of course, the coloring too. Will that do it?
It'll have to. I'm not a beggar, Mr. Oliver.
It never crossed my mind, Mrs. Fink.
Good luck, Mr. Oliver. That is all I have for you. Farewell.
Leave the meeting.
I need to check the investigation board.
We have Iron Chef over here, so investigation.
Now I need
board.
to set the new clues and data on the board.
Oh god, there are a lot of all these clues. Did I spend? Oh, okay, I haven't spent all the connections. Ooh. Viper! What scandalous wording! Not whore, not bitch, not skank. Viper. A part of this, it's a, it's not a business deal, but it's like the detective part. Rolled in like a business negotiation type system. The blonde's identity. Brit's Gamma Lick Fist. I have nothing to say about that bitch. Argument about the painting after the wife's death, family heirloom of great value. Told the husband to get rid of it. Joseph tried to give the painting back to Richard, startled to beg Joseph to keep it because after Catherine's death, it may no longer stay in his house. Alright. Let's try... Well, okay, let's do an easy one. Mysterious blonde and the blonde's identity. Let's connect these dots. Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch.
That's it. Some great deduction skills, Oliver.
Alright! Detective J-Pop on the case. Joseph and Bert belong to a good pack of buddies. During the studies, something happened. Joseph clearly doesn't like her and doesn't even want to mention it. What's it about? They have nothing to do with the disappearance, but I can't ignore it. Go to connections. Oh, we got connections. Ooh. All right. We're starting to fill out some of this puzzle. The clues are gone. Okay, so they're one-to-one. At least that's how this game is portraying it. Okay, there's a painting there, but that's a failed painting return. Maybe a clue? Aw.
This one.
Let's see, argument about the painting. Okay. Told the husband to get rid of it. Hold on. Alright, we have an argument about the painting, but then we have a failed painting return. Because the key words is wife and Catherine's death. Told the husband to get rid of it, started to beg Joseph to keep it, but he can no longer stay in the house. Even though the clue came from the same person? No.
This one.
Urgent phone call, painting, drawing teacher. You got one, chat? Which one do we want to throw out there? I'm gonna try this empty wall and the failed painting return.
I think these are all the connections. I still need to move the investigation further and get more clues.
Why Richard refused to bring it back. Richard was afraid of the painting of the consequences of owning it. He kept both feet on the ground, and I doubt it was some superstition who was interested in painting. How could he threaten anyone with Richard's position? Alright, and that's probably it. We're gonna do overdue letters. Oh, all the connections in this chapter have been found. We did it, chat! Characters, what do we have here? There are some of these things here. New character, Brits. We have arguments and stuff. Okay, save. And we're gonna go to current one. Alright, let's check the business. Orders have been sent. Production and upgrades are in order. I am saving costs by not producing any of that this week because we don't need to. Cash, we will have some cash. Talk with Kersey's Majadama. Let's go to next week. Hold on, let's take a look at this.
This is a good lead, but the information may cost me a lot.
Require 10,000 GP. Alright. Price per unit 640. I'm just taking a look. Average cost. So we make money. So I'm not that worried about it. Okay, let's go on to the next week.
Have I assigned all the tasks properly?
And there's one that I'm purposely not doing. Okay, I'm ready to sit down again.
New week.
Oh
Fresh
man! Why is some shit damaged? Too few hours allocated for after sales service. I mean, low risk, 3%. How did I roll 3% twice? Fucking RNG always fucking me over.
Someone place an order. The deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
Alright, so we need to produce and produce. We have increased capacity, so we could go. I feel like hiring that guy might have been a mistake, but it didn't exactly seem like it. Should I do some marketing? So that we get some side sales. Hold on. Let me go back. Radio. Billboards. Bike cafe sampling. It's much cooler than a head butler, house steward, head of household, etc. Like your butler, you have that oversee all your other staff. Ah. I'm not rich and have staff, so I don't know what that's like. Let's order some advertising. Let's try to get some business in here. Gotta spend money to make money, right? Amount of money at your at the current state's cash next week. See, these numbers are going up. So I'm liking the way this looks. All right, let's do current. Go to current 2. We'll go check out this guy soon. One more week of business.
Have I assigned all the tasks properly?
Did I? Which task? Oh. Didn't know that was a thing. Alright. Alright, let's go to next week. Another bag of Kona. I don't think I have a knack for good coffee. I think just, you know, like between average and shitty coffee, I think I can get away from that. But good coffee, I don't think I'm there.
So, what do I have to deal with this week?
Start the first marketing campaign. Thanks to your marketing campaign, your coffee is selling perfectly. We need to increase the order immediately to benefit from growing demand. So just change the terms so far you deliver. At the price. More units but sell less? Let's just get the quantity up. Well, I'm also too lazy. If Chef don't make the coffee, then what's the point? I have other things to worry about. New stove is one of them. Alright, let's change the contract. The annex has been signed. Go to the sales screen.
Someone placed an order. The deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
Yeah. Do the marketing campaign, okay. Alright, so we making all of the sales. Do we... Alright, let's not get too hasty with the campaign over here. Worth its weight in gold. Alright, let's save. Alright.
This is a good lead, but the information may cost me a lot.
That's alright, I saved up the money for it. This is why we had to wait a little bit to make sure we had the finances. Hold on.
I think these are all the connections. I still need to move the investigation further and get more clues.
Why, thank you for that. Okay.
This is a good lead, but the information may...
Introduce yourself and promise to be discreet. Turn this down a little bit so I can slouch. Alright. Promise to be discreet, introduce yourself, express your sorrow at the circumstances of the meeting. Hold on a sec. Let me leave this meeting. Let's just load. Let me just double check that everything is the way I want it. Alright. Now.
I think these are all the connections.
Yeah, I know those all the
need to
connections.
move the
Let's take a
investigation
look.
further and get more clues.
Faithful servant. He will not disappoint his master's trust. He will not say a bad word about him. I only wonder why Richard kept after the release of all services. Were they friends or did he know too much? Okay. Wish that there were 3 more? Yeah. He will not disappoint his master's trust. Not say a bad word about him. Alright, so we're gonna go with the sympathy.
This is a good lead.
We're gonna go with the sympathy card. We're not gonna praise his home. We're gonna go with the sympathy.
Hello, Mr. Pensy. Thank you for agreeing to meet and to discuss such sensitive matters for you.
Good day, Mr. Oliver. What matters are you speaking of?
The deaths of Catherine and Richard's disappearance.
Ah.
Yes, I have a few questions for you.
Naturally. I would ask only that this conversation stayed between you and I. How can I help you?
Damn, he wanted the discreet aspect. He didn't really have a relations with Clarabelle. What about your first? What he lives on? Nah, I don't think so. What's your first name, Mr. JP?
What exactly is your name, Mr. Pensy?
What a peculiar question.
I mean, your first name. I'm just curious. Clarabelle couldn't tell me. To her, you're just Pensy.
My first name is... What is all this nonsense, Mr. Oliver? Get to the point.
Of course.
Do I even dare ask about his relationship? Yeah, sure.
You've known Clarabelle since she was a child, haven't you?
That's right.
Why didn't you then become her guardian after her father's disappearance?
She was never my responsibility, Mr. Oliver. I looked after the house. Care of the child was the responsibility of the Van Havens.
Yes, Clarabelle mentioned it. How did that come about?
It was Van Haven's idea. After her mother's death, Clarabelle needed a female hand. The Van Havens' housekeeper seemed an ideal choice. And Mr. Richard wasn't around, so the assistance of Mrs. Fink seemed appropriate. He agreed, and since then, the little lady merely slept here.
I see. You said that Richard wasn't around?
He left to get milk.
Yes. Mr. Richard spent most of the year abroad. He had to oversee the family plantations. Even while his wife was alive, he was at home maybe 3 months a year.
And after her death, his daughter wasn't enough to keep him around? One thing puzzles me. Why didn't he take his daughter with him?
To that jungle? A 10-year-old?
Okay. Sorry I asked.
We did the right thing, Mr. Oliver, entrusting her to the Van Havens. I adore the little lady, but I wasn't the right person to bring her up. Mrs. Fink brought her up well and gave her some love, I hope.
I see. And after Clarabelle moved out, did you keep in touch?
Of course. She can always count on me.
So, you get on well?
Yes, and it will be even better when Mr. Richard returns.
Will he return?
I'm sure of it. Is there anything more I can do for you?
I'm not asking what he lives on. That definitely is a bad answer. Get to business. He hasn't tried our bullshit. Ask about the picture.
Mrs. Fink mentioned that after Catherine's death, Richard gave Joseph a picture to look after. Apparently, it stirred up a heap of trouble.
That old tart. She spoke to you. That's how she treats professional secrecy.
You know the story?
The picture? I do. There was a bit of a fuss.
Good. Tell me all about it.
What do you want to know?
About the size of the picture and what it shows. Ask what the picture is worth. I don't think this guy would tell me how much that picture's worth. No chance. Right? He might tell me about the picture. Yeah, he's not going to tell me how much that picture's worth. No way. He has standards. What's the size in the picture?
How large is the picture?
Quite large. About a square meter or so. It was intended to attract attention, and it did an excellent job.
I see. What is it of?
The Kersey's first coffee plantation, the one in Guyana. from where the family's fortune derives, or at least what's left of it when Mr. Richard returns.
Aha, so the picture shows a coffee harvest.
Yes, I suppose so.
Does the pictures have any distinguishing features? I think we can ask that.
Is there anything else I should know about the picture? Anything special about it?
I told you it was a triptych, didn't I?
No. What's that?
A painting on 3 canvases. The central piece is the largest and presents, as it were, the heart of the picture. The smaller canvases supplement it. They apparently place the center image in more context, give it depth. All I cared about was that it wasn't dusty.
That's very interesting. Mrs. Fink said nothing about it being in 3 parts.
When the Van Havens got it, it wasn't. At the beginning of the last century, Mr. Richard's grandfather gave the side canvases to the British Museum. Only the centerpiece remained with the family.
How did Richard come by it?
Lionel Kersey, Mr. Richard's father, gave it to Miss Catherine as a wedding present.
Wouldn't he have inherited it anyway after his father's death?
I suppose so. But maybe, perhaps Mr. Lionel also wanted rid of it for some reason.
You think so?
No, but you have to admit it's a possibility.
What happened to the picture?
I'm all ears, Mr. Pensy. What is this information?
Someone else may be looking for the picture, Mr. Oliver. It is important to me that Mr. Richard doesn't lose his family heirloom.
And so that's why he wanted to store it at the Van Havens, to protect it from theft.
So I suspect.
I see. Who else wants it?
The person in question is most likely George MacPhail. He asked me once if I knew anything about the story connected with the painting. He's an acquaintance of Mr. Richard since way back when. He's an interesting type, if I can describe him so.
Why would he be looking for it? Selling a well-known picture like that means you're almost sure to get caught.
Sell it? No, not at all. You see, this is no ordinary picture.
Interesting.
What do you mean?
Mr. Richard appreciates fine alcohol, if you get my drift. Mr. MacPhail too. One evening, they appreciated some whiskey so enthusiastically they woke me up. I went to ask if everything was all right, and it was then when I heard Mr. Richard say, apparently the picture holds a secret.
So the picture may be more than just a keepsake. That's a puzzle.
We do not need to solve it, Mr. Oliver. Please, just get the picture back. When Mr. Richard returns, I want him to see I've looked after the family's interests.
Alexander happened helping with all the beverages.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pensy.
Thank you for your understanding, Mr. Oliver.
I gave it at a discount. Mr. Lincoln?
I need to check the investigation board. Now I need to set the new clues and data on the board.
History of the painting actually showed the beginning of the family's fortune. Triptych. Lionel Kersey, Richard's father, and a British museum. So the painting is 3 paintings. Which some are at the British Museum. Interesting! Alright, I'm gonna take you off because you're kind of tired. Even though this isn't your job, you're gonna go do it. And at your 37 hours, we're gonna get fucked because that's how this game likes to roll. Let's see. Max. We want to buy a max because the average cost is reduced. You know, that's what warehouse is for. That's how we run business. And if you could get more, you could do it at a lower cost. We don't have variables, we have on-off. Found the connections, we have optional stuff. Reach weekly revenue of at least. So I have no other tasks. I think it's gonna make me continue to play out the week, right? We have one marketing going. Let's go to the next week.
Should I move the investigation forward or wait and make some more cash instead?
Wait, make more cash! All current contracts will be terminated. You'll gain access to new customers and clues. You can still continue in the game. Earn more from your current contracts. Now is the business part. Make some money.
So, what do I have to deal with this week?
Warehouse is almost
Someone
full.
place an order. The deal
Standard
isn't great,
coffee.
but it's a chance for some extra cash.
Alright. We have a bunch in stock of the espresso. Like, we're good. Right? So we don't need to make any more of you for a week. We can keep that going. Next week our cash will go up. Alright, let's see. Work satisfaction, you're way up there. You're going kind of low. Alright, Bob home. We're gonna send him for some training. Alright. Because it'll make it easier on him in the long run. You got kind of a light load. Let me send you for more training. Invest in your employees. Alright, Anonymous. I'm not gonna go on for that much longer.
I think these are all the connections. I still need to move the investigation further and get more clues.
So that training. Sales. Do we want to have a marketing campaign to try to sell? Let's. All right, we're here to try to make some money. 2,000 a week though. We'll do this. Assign employees and the manager. Remember, the campaign is also included in the cost. Well, you could take care of that. Alright, we'll go to current. We'll save here our current one. And then go to current 2. We good? I think we're good. Alright.
Should I move the investigation
No.
forward or wait and make some more cash
We're
instead?
gonna make some more cash. Give me them chips.
New week, a fresh start.
Alright, alright. That's what we wanted with this new campaign. Alright. So you want a couple more units? Just a couple more? barely enough to cover the cost of the campaign. Alright, we'll do that. How much is it? Another upgrade will be available next chapter. 1,000. Increased capacity, increased storage costs. Maybe I should wait. Work satisfaction, 65%, 83%, 60%. Like, the campaign is going, right? It has a cost every week, but it's been set up, so we don't have to do that. Alright, we'll go again.
Should I move the investigation forward or wait and make some more cash instead?
I'm gonna get tired of hearing that line.
So, what do I have to deal with this week? Someone place an order. Deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
Alright, extra cash. Make the stuff. So if we take him out, she's holding all right. What if we send Dolores to some training? Easier it is on you, the more the better your satisfaction will be. It won't drain you so hard. At least that's my mental thought. Collect cash. It's like it doesn't project the revenue, though. Cash up next week is that, but we've got sales.
Should I move the investigation forward or wait and make some more cash instead? New week.
Aw,
Fresh
some
start.
bags get lost.
Someone place an order. The deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
I wonder why this keeps adjusting. I have to keep checking it. Except the cash is because I sold, now the cash has gone up. Because the sales isn't there after I click these. So now I've made the money. Your life got so busy. God, and you know, that's, 3 days out of the week. I know I watch Coolio, so that's 4. Like, what else is there after work? This is it.
Have I assigned all the tasks properly?
What task did I not assign? That one? Looks assigned to me. Let me drop you to 18 hours. Try to recover some of your satisfaction.
Should I move the investigation forward or wait and make some more cash instead? So, what's going on in this company?
Warehouse is almost full. See, the sales doesn't like the cost of 12,000, right? So we should be up 10,000. It doesn't
Someone place
look
an order.
right to me.
The deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
Warehouse capacity 50, so we're not full, so we're fine there. So if we take them out, so you get to rest. I know we could pay them. Because their one task takes so much, right? They seem like the ones to invest in by game mechanics.
Should I move the investigation forward or
We
wait
still have
and make
7
some
weeks
more
left.
cash instead? New week,
Fuck!
fresh start.
Oh, well, it's because world of stock.
Someone place an order.
Accept the order.
Deal isn't great, but
Sell,
it's a chance
sell,
for some
sell.
extra cash.
Alright. Weekly revenue. I'm not sure if I'll get there. I have a lot of stock in that one. Like, could I skip it for a week? It would just hit capacity. Let's do that. 61%, 60%, 55%, 62%. No matter how much I do it, I seem to get bit in the butt. I mean, I've rolled 3% like 4 times. In like a 12-week span. I don't think I need to train you, because after you are done, you've just been kind of spare this whole time. Maybe I should train you. It'll make it easier on you in the long run. And I keep saying that. Alright.
Should I move the investigation forward or wait and make some... Have I assigned all the tasks properly?
I don't know why that task
Should I
does
move
it
the
like that,
investigation
like
forward or
auto-assign
wait
it
and
once
make
it
some
gets
more
there.
cash instead? New week, a fresh start.
So we sent those. We could produce you, and we don't have to do any of this coffee right now. So that's okay. Which means we could remove you from the espresso. I wonder what these optional things get me. Well, employees completed all available trainings. Okay, so I'll need to do that. So then maybe I should send you for training right now. Level 4, level 2, level 4, level 3. I don't think we need a new one. We'll send you for training. Like, it's possible collect cash of at least 200,000 in weekly revenue, like. Loans. Yeah, no, I don't need to do loans. Finance charts. don't have to manage that because there's nothing being done with that.
Should I move the investigation? Have I assigned all the tasks properly?
I did.
So, what's going on in this company?
How many weeks are left of this contract? Quantity per week. So I need to go back to producing you, and I'm going to need to produce you. That will keep me under the max. If we put you on training, get you to level 4. I mean, our cash is maintaining, but our crew is getting more skillful, so... Right? Investing
Should I
in the
move?
future.
Have I assigned all the tasks
Hold
properly?
on. Go back.
Should I move the investigation forward or wait and make some more cash instead?
Ah, whatever.
So, what do I have to deal with this week?
Alright, we have a bunch of stock there. Oh, that's because we gotta sell it.
Someone place an order. The deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
So, sales. Alright, so we need to make you. And I cannot... do you at max. So we're not going to do you at all. We have enough for the clients. You're maxed. You should be maxed. You're maxed. And you will be after this training. We have a workload. Who doesn't have a workload? You, but you're already maxed. Alright, then let me do this. I'm gonna send you for training. And I'm removing you from there. And I'm putting you in there. Alright, I think we're just about done. Alright. Oh, except we only have one, so I can remove you, because we're just doing the espresso. So you get to relax a little bit. Good.
Should I move the investigation forward or wait and make some more cash? Have I assigned all the tasks properly?
Hurry up and unlock Cappuccino next chapter!
So, what do I have to deal with this week?
So everybody's fully trained. Oh. Sell. So you get to be made. And I guess we can produce you. Because we'll stay under the warehouse limit. $66. You seem to be tired of shit. Okay. Alright. I'll never collect that cash.
I think these are all the connections.
that's not what I wanted.
I still need to move the investigation further and get more clues.
See, increased storage costs. Now, we like to do that, but that's not happening. Okay.
Should I move the
2 weeks
investigation
max.
forward or wait and make some more cash
There's no more
instead?
training needed, so everybody's all good.
Another report. Hope there's someone placed an order. The deal isn't great, but it's a chance for some extra cash.
Alright, so we got all that. We need to make you. We have enough of you in stock. But we can fit. And since we can, we will. Alright, that looks good, that looks good. We're not getting any of the optional stuff done. Alright, this is where we're going to stop for the night. So, a little interesting, some business aspect, some investigation. Well, I hope y'all here for the ride. I'm down to continue this. So, we'll see what happens. We'll unlock the next chapter and get into it. I'm also leaving myself 1 week to kind of reacquaint myself with the business aspect of this already preset. So, that is it for today's stream. Thank you all for stopping by. Alexander Edge, Sia Silver Fox, Anonymous, Gamba, Donut, Bro, Sia, did I already mention you? Not sure. Meg, thank you also for stopping by. Any lurkers out there who happen to enjoy this? And we'll see. We'll see about this game. I like the theme and the setting. I wish there was a bit more music tracks. I agree. We'll see how deep this rabbit hole goes if it does. So, happy Monday, everyone. Hope you have a good week. Remember, have a good day, good night, good week, good weekend wherever you are. And please, if you come across a loved one, be sure to tell them that you love them. All right? Night, everyone. Have a good night. I will see you all Wednesday.